I remember lying in my bed and the occupational therapist coming in. And she said, Andrew, I've got your new wheelchair for you. And it was this gigantic metal chrome thing. The day I went out in public in that wheelchair for the first time was, by miles, the worst day of my life. I felt completely stripped of me. That thing owned me. It was now my identifiable feature.
Mobility is something that you take for granted on the day-to-day. It's not just about hopping in the bus or hopping in your car, it's about walking from here to the kitchen.
Mobility is changing. The focus is pushing towards inclusion.
Mobility is a human right, and we want to guarantee this human right to everybody.
We need to think about why people need mobility. For a job, meeting friends. Mobility is fundamental. Technology can help that purpose.
It's about doing something that other people haven't or won't do. I want that first perception that anyone has of me and anyone that uses the device that I designed to go, cool.
We're at the Skydeck Accelerator in Berkeley, California. The name of our device is the EvoWalk device. It helps people with walking problems, specifically from neurological walking impairments. It times where they are in their walking cycle and activates their muscles to kind of help them rehabilitate and regain some ability to walk.
We are in the IHMC lab in Pensacola, Florida. We are building the Quix exoskeleton.
Team Quix is about making the world accessible to people who use wheelchairs and the immobility that comes with that.
We're basically building a robot from scratch.
Etal Design is an engineering service provider for automotive markets. And we want to become designers of mobility solutions. How can I guarantee that you can fulfill your mission, moving from A to B, in the efficient way without having so much stress?
Our team name is QOLO, which is the quality of life is locomotion. We are going to realize the standing mobility device.
If you start looking at every bit of the wheelchair, you realize that there's a lot of it that's not very good. What the wheelchair user wants is a viable, practical, lightweight, compact, portable, easy to use, safe, affordable thing. I think the best products are developed by the people that use them. I've used a wheelchair for a long time. I'm probably a good person to do it.
How can we condense all of this complexity into something that looks really easy to use? The device is going to read where you are when you're walking. Since it's canceling out those spasms, you're going to be able to retrain and remember how to walk without the stimulation. How's it feel?
Much better. Timing is actually quite good.
Nice.
This is a major relief. No hands.
Our whole team knows that this is like a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and we know that this could have a huge impact on the world.
It's not going to be an autonomous robot. You don't say, I want to walk over there and just let it walk you. We treat the device that the user wears as a custom-fit device.
The first time I saw the Exo, I was hesitant to believe that it was actually going to make me walk. Looks can be deceiving. They said it was going to work, so I just kind of trusted that we were going to make this happen.
Our concept is very ambitious. It must be something that works for the widest audience of users. Each user has a different problem or a different wish, and trying to accommodate all these wishes into one device is not easy at all.
Our final goal is to be able to provide a mobility solution for each single person, independently by the abilities.
We naturally think that wheelchair people are seated, and we do not ask them, do you want to stand up? I think from the heart, people wanted to do the same thing as others do. Standing is fundamental. Standing is a part of life.
This chair is very heavy on the front wheels. So what we're doing is creating a center of gravity that's intelligent. So as the user leans forward, it will move forward with them. As they lean back, it will lean back with them. The centre of gravity of the human and the chair become one. Undoubtedly, the wheelchair is the most viable means of getting around if you're paralysed. But there's a perception from wheelchair users that using a power device when you don't really need it is surrender to the battery. It's important for me that the power assist system that we're developing is really discreet. When they come to a hill, it just kicks in and does it. And that hill got easier. The wheelchair doesn't have to be an inanimate, awkward device. It can actually engage with the person. And if their abilities are enhanced, their confidence is enhanced, and the person has a better lifestyle. That's transformational to the wheelchair user.
There you go. And why is it not tracking well, or like why did this cable break? Having someone use it for a day and then it would break, a week and then it would break. Even though we knew it was coming because there were prototypes, like every single time it would break, it would be like, ah.
Motivation started to decrease, speed started to decrease. At a certain point, you're waiting so much for something to happen that you're starting to doubt that it will happen.
The most difficult part of all of this was the time frame we had to do it in. There's some money, there's some time, make it happen.
We had complete burnout where we had to go through and check logic boards and actually rebuild some of the electronics.
It's so frustrating. Like, what did we do wrong? Like, we thought this was the one.
Can they fix this? Or is this just inherently a terrible idea?
We want to get as close to perfection as possible.
You're there to take the risk to make sure that what you're working with and what other people are going to be working with is safe. Just push the limitations as far as possible.
It's a roller coaster. It's doing this all the time. One day it works and looks so promising, and then something stops working and you just feel gutted. So to see it all come together today, it's a massive relief. There's a lot riding on this.
The goal for me personally is to save the 18-year-old kid that I was the mountain that I had to climb. I was in the hospital for 28 days. It was completely a contradiction to the way that I've grown up. Fast-paced, job sites, sports, motocross, anything that I used to do was gone. Now that I'm in a wheelchair, I'm just going to sit around and not do anything. All the things that really aggravated me at the beginning, I just let them bottle up, tuck them in a corner. My first thing that I needed to overcome was letting go of that anger and the sadness that came with that. I was getting on 2 years in the chair by the time my HMC came along, looking for participants for the exoskeleton. The opportunity was granted, so I jumped on it.
My dad, he was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis a little over 10 years ago now, and he started to develop a walking problem.
I was tripping and falling a lot. When you cannot move, your life is very limited.
I learned a lot about how the brain works, and I liked to build a lot of stuff and hack, so we all started with the first prototype to help my dad get a little bit of that walking back.
I started trying it. I feel safer when I walk with the device. This thing gave me some freedom again.
The Phoenix is the mythical bird of fire that can never be destroyed. No matter what happens to it, it just comes back. That's why I do this. Seeing those people get that independence, they wouldn't have got that had I, as a 14-year-old, not made that decision to climb that tree and fall out and break my back. That decision that I've questioned myself so many times, thinking, what were you thinking? Now I look at it and think, maybe you didn't mess up. Maybe good can come from this.
Nobody's really pitting against each other as much as we're all pitted against ourselves to make the device that we plan to.
If we win, we'll be able to push forward even more. It's going to give us this support network. It's going to give us this opportunity that we already have had by being one of these 5 finalists, but it's going to take us to the next level.
I believe in that. Face-to-face communication between human beings cannot be replaced by any kind of other issues. our system is most closest to the human being. To meet people, to talk to someone, same eye-to-eye communication.
The We Meet does look beautiful. Now it's something totally different. We are very proud to see and touch what we built.
I've always found that if you're looking at the ground, all you'll ever see is dirt. I can get up every day and look up, then I'll have at least more to enjoy than looking down.
We gave me back something that I can prevent being taken away from somebody else.
I don't have to worry as much about him. He can do a lot of the things that he needed other people for.
He's doing something good for everybody.
We got the chair completed to a usable state a week before the close of the competition. It's no longer an awkward, inanimate box on wheels. I feel engaged with it in a way I've never felt with a chair before. Smart wheelchairs are here, and the new era has begun.